I am the Lord, the maker of seasons. I send rain in its time and withhold it to awaken the heart. When the land grows dry, it is not my hand that has failed, but the hearts of men that have turned away. When every man did what was right in his own eyes, my people forgot me, the bread of life. And famine entered not only the soil, but the soul. For the drought of the earth is but a mirror of a greater drought within, a hunger for righteousness, a thirst for my presence. When the ground cracks beneath your feet, know this: it is not chaos without purpose, nor punishment without mercy. It is my voice breaking through the noise, calling you home to me. In the days when the judges ruled, the land grew barren, and hunger spread across Judah. I saw Elimelech rise with Naomi his wife, and their 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion. They left Bethlehem, the house of bread, once filled with promise, and journeyed to Moab, seeking life where they believed it could be found. They were Ephrathites, rooted in Judah, yet they chose foreign soil to dwell in for a time. But hear this: Elimelech sought survival, yet lost his shelter. He pursued life, yet found death. For when my people flee the place of testing, they turn away from the place of transformation. In Moab, sorrow shadowed their steps. Elimelech fell, and Naomi stood alone, a widow in a land not her own. Her 2 sons remained and took wives from among the Moabites, one named Orpah, the other Ruth. For 10 years they dwelt there, yet the years brought no lasting joy. Mahlon and Chilion also died, and Naomi was left bereft of husband and sons, her house reduced to silence. Then Naomi heard, even in Moab, that I had visited my people and given them bread again. Hope stirred within her grief, and she rose with her daughters-in-law to return from the land of loss. Together they set out on the road that led back to Judah. But Naomi turned to them and said, "Go back, each of you, to your mother's house. May the Lord show you kindness as you have shown kindness to the dead and to me. May he grant you rest in the home of another husband." She kissed them, and tears fell like rain. They said, "We will go with you to your people." Yet Naomi spoke again, "Return, my daughters. Why follow me? Have I sons yet to give you? Even if hope remained, even if I bore sons tonight, would you wait for them to grow? No, my daughters, my grief is heavier than yours, for you see my hand has pressed hard upon me." They wept again. Orpah kissed Naomi and turned back, but Ruth clung to her. Naomi said, "Look, your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and her gods. Follow her." But Ruth replied with words that rose like a vow before me. "Do not urge me to leave you, or turn back from following you. Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if anything but death separates us." When Naomi saw Ruth's resolve, she said no more. So they walked together through dust and silence, until the hills of Bethlehem broke upon the horizon. The town stirred at their arrival, and the women asked, "Is this Naomi?" She said, "Do not call me Naomi, call me Mara, for the Almighty has made my life bitter. I went away full, but I return empty. Why call me Naomi, when the Lord has afflicted me and brought misfortune upon me?" Yet even in her bitterness I was not absent. For every empty hand is a vessel I can fill. Thus Naomi returned from Moab with Ruth the Moabite, her daughter-in-law, as the barley harvest began, the first sign of bread, and the whisper of redemption. Now Naomi had a relative on her husband's side, a man of honor from the clan of Elimelech. His name was Boaz, and before either of them knew it, I had already ordered their steps toward a meeting written in my design. One morning Ruth said to Naomi, "Let me go to the fields and gather the grain left behind by those who harvest, that I might find favor." Naomi answered, "Go, my daughter." So Ruth went out and entered a field to glean behind the reapers. By my unseen guidance, she came to the portion of land that belonged to Boaz. For chance is never chance when I am at work. Just then Boaz arrived from Bethlehem and greeted his workers, saying, "The Lord be with you." And they replied, "The Lord bless you." Boaz looked and saw Ruth among the gleaners and asked the overseer, "Whose young woman is this?" The overseer said, "She is the Moabite who returned with Naomi from Moab. She asked to glean among the sheaves, the bundled stalks of harvested grain, and she has labored from morning until now, resting only a little." Then Boaz spoke to Ruth, "Listen, my daughter, do not go to another field or leave this place. Stay close to the women who work for me. Watch the field they reap and follow after them. I have commanded the men not to harm you, and when you are thirsty, drink from the jars they have filled." At this Ruth bowed low to the ground and said, "Why have I found favor in your eyes that you notice me, a foreigner?" Boaz answered, "I have heard all you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, how you left your father and mother and your homeland to live among a people you did not know. May the Lord repay you for what you have done, and may you receive full reward under his wings, for you have sought refuge in him. But hear this, those words of blessing were not empty courtesy. I myself placed them upon his tongue. For every seed of kindness sown for another becomes a doorway through which I pour favor. Ruth said, "May I continue to find favor in your eyes, my Lord. You have comforted me and spoken kindly to your servant, though I am not even as one of your servants." At mealtime, Boaz said, "Come and eat. Dip your bread in the wine." So she sat among the harvesters, and he offered her roasted grain. She ate until she was satisfied and even had some left over. When she rose to glean again, Boaz commanded his men, "Let her gather among the sheaves and do not rebuke her. Even pull out some stalks and leave them for her." So Ruth gleaned until evening, her hands steady, her heart humbled. She threshed the barley and gathered about an ephah, roughly 30 pounds, enough to sustain them for days. She carried it back to Naomi, who saw what she had gathered. Ruth also gave her what was left from her meal. Naomi asked, "Where did you glean today?" "Blessed be the man who showed you kindness." Ruth said, "The name of the man is Boaz." Naomi replied, "May the Lord bless him. He has not stopped showing kindness to the living and the dead. That man is our close relative, one of our guardian redeemers, a family protector with the right and duty to redeem property and preserve the family line. And I, the Redeemer of Israel, was already weaving redemption through their ordinary days, through labor, kindness, and bread shared in the fields." Ruth added, "He told me to stay with his workers until the harvest is finished." Naomi said, "It is good, my daughter, to stay with his women, for in another field you might be harmed." So Ruth stayed close to Boaz's servant girls, gathering until the end of the barley and wheat harvests, while living with Naomi. And though neither of them yet knew it, the fields of Boaz were not only a place of provision, but the soil of promise, where my covenant love would take root again in Israel. As the final days of harvest faded and silence returned to the fields, Naomi began to see my hand more clearly. In her heart, grief had not vanished, but faith had begun to breathe again. She pondered how I might restore her family's name and secure Ruth's future. Through wisdom born of sorrow and refined by waiting, Naomi discerned that her season of loss was turning toward redemption. For I am the Lord who restores what famine has taken, who rebuilds what sorrow has torn down. The harvest was finished, but my work was not. As the last stalks were gathered and the wind passed gently through the emptied fields, Naomi's heart stirred with hope that rose from the ashes of loss. She turned to Ruth and spoke with, "My daughter, I must seek a place of rest for you, a home where you will be provided for." Her motive was clear. to secure Ruth's future and preserve the name of her house. For Naomi believed that Boaz, a man of honor, would act according to my law and my mercy. For mercy and law are never at war in me. They are the right and left hand of redemption. She said, "Tonight he will be winnowing barley on the threshing floor." The act of tossing grain into the evening breeze so that the wind may carry away the chaff. Then Naomi gave her counsel. "Wash, anoint yourself with perfume, and put on your best garments. Go down to the threshing floor, but do not reveal yourself until he has finished eating and drinking. When he lies down, mark the place where he rests. Then go, uncover his feet and lie there. He will tell you what to do." Ruth answered, "I will do all you say." And though Naomi's instructions seemed daring, I was guiding through her wisdom. For what she advised was customary in that time, a symbolic gesture of humility and covenant appeal. By lying at Boaz's feet, Ruth was not seeking affection but intercession. She was asking him to act as a kinsman redeemer, to cover her with his protection and preserve the name of the dead. It was a posture of trust, not compromise, of faith, not seduction. So Ruth went down to the threshing floor and did as Naomi instructed. When Boaz had eaten and drunk and his heart was content, he lay down at the far end of the grain pile. Quietly, Ruth approached, uncovered his feet and lay down. In the stillness of midnight, Boaz stirred and turned, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. "Who are you?" he asked. She replied, "I am your servant Ruth. Spread the corner of your garment over me, for you are a guardian redeemer, a family protector with the right and duty to redeem." Boaz said, "The Lord bless you, my daughter. This kindness is greater than what you showed before, for you have not pursued younger men, whether rich or poor. Do not fear. I will do for you all you ask. For all in my town know you are a woman of noble character. Yet there is one nearer than I who has the first right of redemption. Remain here tonight, and in the morning, if he will redeem you, good. Let him redeem. But if he will not, as surely as the Lord lives, I will redeem you. Lie here until morning." Even as Boaz spoke, I was shaping his resolve. The promise that began in a field would now be sealed at the gate. So Ruth lay at his feet until dawn, then rose before she could be recognized. Boaz said, "Let it not be known that a woman came to the threshing floor." Then he said, "Bring your shawl and hold it out." He gave her 6 measures of barley, an abundant gift, far more than she could carry alone, and placed it upon her cloak. It was not mere grain, but a pledge, a silent testimony that rest and redemption would soon follow. Then Boaz returned to the town. When Ruth came to Naomi, she asked, "How did it go, my daughter?" Ruth told her all that Boaz had done and added, he gave me these 6 measures of barley, saying, "Do not return to your mother-in-law empty-handed." Naomi said, "Wait, my daughter, until you see how the matter turns out, for the man will not rest until he has settled it today." And so Ruth waited. Faith held its breath between night and morning. The threshing floor had tested her obedience, and the city gate would now reveal my purpose. The dawn of redemption was near. At the gate, justice would meet mercy, and the name of the dead would rise again among the living. For I, the Lord, was writing a story that would outlive them all, a story that would carry the seed of kings, and from that seed, the Redeemer of all mankind. At dawn, Boaz rose with resolve and went up to the city gate, the place where justice was done and redemption declared. For I am the Lord, who brings justice at the gate and reveals redemption in the open square. What began in secret at the threshing floor now moved into the light of witness, where what is hidden becomes fulfilled, and every vow finds its seal before men and before me. Boaz sat and waited, and by my providence, the guardian redeemer of whom he had spoken came by. Boaz called to him, "Come, friend, and sit." So he sat. Then Boaz gathered 10 elders of the town and said, "Sit here." And they did so, for witnesses were required in Israel. Boaz spoke, "Naomi, who returned from Moab, is selling the land that belonged to our relative Elimelech. I thought to bring this matter before you in the presence of these elders. If you will redeem it, do so. But if not, tell me, for you have the first right and I am next." The man said, "I will redeem it." Then Boaz added, "On the day you buy the land from Naomi, you also acquire Ruth the Moabite, the widow of the dead, to maintain his name with his property." At this, the guardian redeemer said, "Then I cannot redeem it, lest I endanger my own estate. Redeem it yourself, I cannot." Now in former times in Israel, to confirm a transaction, one removed his sandal and gave it to the other. This was the custom of legalizing redemption. So the man said to Boaz, "Buy it yourself," and removed his sandal. Then Boaz declared before the elders and all the people, "You are witnesses this day that I have bought from Naomi all that belonged to Elimelech, Mahlon and Chilion, and I have acquired Ruth the Moabite, Mahlon's widow, as my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, so his name will not vanish from his family or from his town. You are witnesses." And the elders and all the people said, "We are witnesses. May the Lord make this woman who comes into your house like Rachel and Leah, mothers of Israel, who together built the house of Jacob. May you prosper in Ephrathah and be renowned in Bethlehem. And through the offspring the Lord gives you by this young woman, may your house be like that of Perez, ancestor of Boaz, whom Tamar bore to Judah." Thus, before the eyes of Israel, redemption was sealed. What began in quiet faith now stood as a covenant fulfilled. Time passed, and the blessings spoken at the gate began to unfold. Boaz took Ruth, and she became his wife. And I, the Lord, opened her womb, for no life is conceived apart from my breath. In due season she bore a son. Then the women said to Naomi, "Blessed be the Lord, who has not left you without a redeemer this day. May his name be famous in Israel. He will renew your life and sustain you in your old age. For your daughter-in-law, who loves you and is better to you than 7 sons, has borne him." Naomi took the child and held him close. The women said, "Naomi has a son," not because Ruth was forgotten, but because my mercy had restored what was lost. Through this child, both women were remembered, both stories redeemed. They named him Obed. He became the father of Jesse, the father of David, the shepherd king, through whom I would raise a greater shepherd, the Redeemer of all. For what began in Bethlehem with bread would one day bring forth the bread of life for all nations. The field became a cradle of promise. The gate became the threshold of a kingdom. And so the story that began in famine now ends in fullness. The name that seemed cut off now flows into a royal line. For I, the Lord, was planting more than a family. I was preparing a king. And through that king, a redeemer for every tribe, tongue, and nation. I am the Lord who was with Naomi in her sorrow, with Ruth in her loyalty, and with Boaz in his righteousness. This story is not written only for them. It is written for you. When famine tests your faith, do not flee the field I have given you. That field is not just soil. It is the place of my assignment, the ground where obedience grows into destiny. Stay in the land of promise, though it feels empty. For I am the Lord who visits his people with bread, in due time, in my time. Do not abandon obedience for the illusion of easier soil. For what seems barren today is the ground where tomorrow's harvest is hidden. Every humble act, every unseen prayer, every quiet step of faith, I see them all. Like Ruth, seek not prominence, seek my presence. Do not chase favor, walk faithfully, and favor will find you. Wait under my wings, where grace gathers the weary and restores the lost. For I am your Redeemer still, and I will not rest until I finish the work of redemption in you. Do not despise the famine. It is the furnace where false gods die and faith is refined. I sometimes withhold the bread of comfort, to awaken hunger for the bread that endures. Blessed is the one who remains, though the fields are barren. For I am still the Lord of the harvest, even in drought, even in delay. Return is never easy. It means facing the emptiness once fled. But grace begins where pride ends. Naomi came back with nothing, yet found that I had kept everything that mattered. Ruth's faith opened the door to destiny. Her clinging became covenant. So when famine drives you from promise, remember, the way back is never closed. Every step of repentance is a step toward renewal. I do not forsake those who turn homeward, and I still fill the hands that return empty. At the threshing floor, faith is sifted from desire. Ruth came not demanding reward, but resting under trust. She sought not wealth, but covering, not provision, but covenant. So too must every soul come to me and surrender. Redemption is not seized, it is received. It comes to those who choose obedience over opportunity. For righteousness is proven in patience, and when faith bows low, grace always rises. At the city gate, Boaz paid the price of restoration. He did not speak of love alone. He acted in covenant. So it is with me. I am the greater Redeemer who stood not at a gate of stone, but on a hill called Calvary. Where Boaz paid with silver, I paid with the blood of my beloved Son, Jesus Christ. Where he covered Ruth with his name, I have covered you with my righteousness. The field, the gate, the vow, all pointed to me. For I am the Lord who redeems the broken line, who gathers the outcast, and who writes mercy into your name. From the ashes of Ruth's loss, I birthed a lineage of kings. From Naomi's sorrow, I wove redemption's story. What began in famine ended in fullness. What began in sorrow ended in song. The broken were chosen, and the foreigner became family. I waste nothing, not your pain, not your waiting, not your obedience. Every field sown in tears will yield a harvest of glory. For nothing surrendered in faith is ever lost in my hands. You see only your chapter. I see the whole story. The same hand that guided Ruth to Bethlehem still guides you through the fields of grace. So listen, my child. Stay in the field I have appointed for you. That field is where I am working, where your faith will be tested and your future prepared. Do not envy another's harvest. Do not abandon obedience for easier soil. What you gather in faith today becomes tomorrow's harvest of joy. Remain where I am working, even when the ground feels hard. For those who stay, I make barren soil bloom. For those who trust, I turn waiting into witness. For those who remain, I bring redemption. Stay in the field, beloved. The harvest is nearer than you think.